University basketball coach Eric Henderson, student athletes Alex Arians and Charlie Easley. Our normal format's going to be an opening statement from coach. We'll go over to student questions for the student athletes. Once we get done with the student athletes, we'll dismiss them, come back to questions for coach. Before questions, please identify your name and your organization. Give me a signal and we'll make sure everyone gets a turn. Go ahead with your opening statement, coach.
Well, it was good to be back in the Denny and see that sea of blue. That was awful fun, and the support that we get, it's amazing, and we're certainly thankful for that. Got to give a lot of credit to Coach Crutch and his team. They had a great plan. They were super physical. They were aggressive, trying to keep the ball out of Zeke's hands. And we were fortunate that we had some other guys step up too, and we have a couple of them right beside me. But fun basketball game, and we're lucky to be moving on and fortunate to be moving on. But I love our team.
Go ahead with questions for the student athletes right here.
From the first half, they were red hot. Was there a little bit of a sense that if you could sort of ride it out and eventually they cooled off a little bit, that you guys could kind of establish control?
I think it was a little bit of both. A little bit of us maybe being a step slow in the first half, and a little bit of them just hitting shots. So we went in the locker room and we talked, and I mean we knew we were going to come out with a lot more energy in the second half, and that's what we did.
What did they do defensively to make things so tough on you guys, shooting wise, especially in the second half?
But yeah, they played physical. I mean they trapped. I know they got the ball out of Zeke's hands a lot, which kind of made our offense a little stagnant. But yeah, credit to them. But we gotta be a lot better offensively.
Marcus Jackson, Richard Republic. Alex, what makes this specific game every year, this first game of the Summer League tournament, what makes it so hard to win? Or why does it feel like it's so hard to win?
Well, I think obviously it being March, everyone's playing free. Everyone is, trying to play their best basketball. And I think, just that teams playing free, it really challenges everybody. And like we've seen in the past, like anything can happen once this tournament starts. So
do you feel like you guys play free in that situation, or side of maybe your own side?
No, I think we definitely play free. Endo does a good job at that, at allowing us, to play with freedom, but allowing us to play within a structure as well. But like I mentioned, those teams who are, maybe lower seeds, they have nothing to lose, and so they can come out and, like I said, play free.
Second row.
Tim, Richard Summit. Game like this, very gritty, scrappy. Free throws were the ultimate difference. You got there over 20 times, make a great percentage on them. In a game where, like you said, the offense is a bit stagnant, things aren't flowing. It should know that, hey, maybe if we can get to the strike, we can pull this out. Was there an emphasis on that in models?
Yeah, I think again, like I said, all these games are going to come down to how much we can widen the margin. So whether it be, offensive rebounds, whether it be trying to get, turnovers on our end, whether it's getting defensive rebounds. I think, again, we just got to continue to widen the margin. And like I said, that margin is pretty small once this tournament starts.
Any other questions? We'll go two more. Matt first.
At times it looked kind of like you tried to be a little aggressive when maybe you guys were struggling offensively, and you're a senior. This is probably your last time in this tournament. Is it's a little personal for you, being that this is kind of your last go around, and I know it's been kind of an emotional year for you.
Yeah. I think, obviously this being my last tournament, I want to make the most of it, but I just want to do whatever I can to make my team win. So that's ultimately what I want at the end of the day, is just to get some wins.
Last one right here.
Eric, you aggressive to Alex. I guess you get those points there with a minute left. Start pumping up the crowd. Just talk about the crowd's energy, feeding off that the way you did late for the second.
Yeah, I think obviously we talk about a lot of the electricity in a Frost Arena, but when you come down here, it's the same thing. Like I've alluded to in the past, we got some of the best fans in all of college basketball, and everyone that's in this building can see that. So,
Charlie, Alex, thank you very much. You can head back to the locker room.
Next week.
All you got.
Go ahead with questions for coach. We'll go Matt first.
What I was referring to with Alex, I mean, he was only 4-14, but kind of seemed like he was your guy tonight when you needed him. And obviously, we always joke about how old he is. good around. I mean, was that kind of what you want to see out of a guy like that in that situation?
Yeah, we needed somebody with what they were trying to do with Zeke, take the ball out of his hands. We needed somebody to step up like that. And obviously Alex been in this situation a few times and he's our next guy with that, you know, and trying to get downhill. And, you know, it was an emphasis to try to get the ball downhill, attack closeouts because they were trying to be super physical with us. And it was our goal to keep them off the foul line. And once we saw how they were playing, you know, the Sutton kid got hurt in warmups and that threw us off for a little bit threw us for a loop too, because, you know, they played with a lot of, you know, a couple posts more times than not. So we had some tough matchups out there. They got off to a great start and it just built confidence. But back to Alex, I mean, he's been in this moment. We trust Alex and he's just been so calm in these situations so many times.
Same line of questioning. Why is this game on this first quarterfinals so difficult to win? And there's kind of a track record with the Jacks of having to sweat some bullets in this game.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, but these guys are young. I mean, and this is the biggest, you know, one of the biggest crowds we'll play in, and it's such a great environment. But I think it works a little bit both ways, especially that first game where, and we've been seated fairly high a lot of times too. And so kind of like going back to what Alex said, whether you're playing the 6th seed, 7th seed, 8th seed, tonight, the 10th seed, I mean, they kind of take that mentality of us against the world, right? And they come together and I give their teams a lot of credit. I mean, it's not easy. And I know our team, you know, hey, we beat Omaha a couple times already this year by over 20 points. And so our guys, you know, are a little, you know, maybe not as happy as they should be in the locker room. I'm like, no, boys, like, wins right now. It doesn't matter if it's by one or whatever. we need to celebrate. And so, but it's a tough deal for these kids, but we wouldn't want it any other way either.
Brandon Crook?
Coach, just when things are going the way offensively, how much energy do a defensive plays like Matthew Morris block and then match block for high?
Those big time plays, and those are energy plays, and we talk about those plays being 50-50 plays, and we need to win the 50-50 battle, and those blocks are huge. I mean, it honestly, those kind of remind me, I don't know, some of you guys have been around for a while. Tevin King had a block here 4 or 5 years ago that are just momentum, huge momentum swings for our team, and they were tonight as well. But, you know, defensively, you know, we didn't have things, you know, it wasn't great for us offensively, obviously, but we held them to 18% in the second half. I mean, we were tougher than nails. And you look at our last 3 games, it's been our best defensive efforts. Now the first half, was a little shaky, but boy, the second half, we were dynamite.
Second row?
Marshall was near perfect in that first half, scored 19. Didn't score a point in the second. Didn't even really get a lot of shots off in the second. What was the adjustment there? Was just Charlie stick on him.
We went small, Timmy. You know, we decided to play a little smaller so we could maybe match up with their, you know, their perimeter, so they weren't getting downhill. I mean, they were still making inside-out threes on us, and that's why they shot such a good percentage in the first half. And we needed to keep them out of the paint. And to do that, we had to go small a little bit. And Charlie was on Marshall, and Charlie's a tough cookie, and man, he made some big-time plays defensively, but rebounding, getting, you know, on both ends, but that's what we had to do.
Last question in the back.
Can you speak to Charlie's energy level off the bench tonight and what it's going to have back at full strength?
Yeah, I mean, it's Cody, it's you know, Charlie brings so much to the table. We have 2 little guys, Mimsy and Charlie, that are terrific energy givers, and Charlie, to be able to bring Charlie off the bench with the experience that he has is a weapon. And he makes all those energy plays that's contagious to other players. And if we don't like matchups, we can let him go in there and guard anybody. And so to have a guy like Charlie coming off the bench for us is a huge deal. And we're looking forward to moving on.